Hey, everybody, it's John, your Indian Cine-MANIAC, back with another 10ish minute review. But before I get to that, I have to put on my sports cap here because now remember, I'm recording this on June 3rd. Okay, June 3rd. Well, on June 1st, I've been watching a little bit of cricket. Now, Wednesday's the big day. India versus Ireland. But on June 1st, the USA beat Canada in Dallas in the opening match with a stunning 94. There were 10 sixes, 4 fours, and a brilliant 65 from Andreas Gauss. So USA won. I know they won a warm-up round against Bangladesh. Well, they beat Canada. And I watched a little bit of it. I even put a video short on it, but it was pretty cool to watch. I didn't understand everything, I'm not going to lie, but I'm starting to understand a lot more. So that was very exciting. I'm looking forward to watching it, the Indy match on Wednesday. But I understand you guys have told me that the match I want to watch is India versus Pakistan. That should be big rivalry. Now, who's got the edge there? Because people are telling me the India team is okay, but the Pakistan team, although I think Nish told me they're missing a couple of their really good players. So I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you. So listen, last time we did the movie Chup, which was a recommendation from Cully Singh. Again, a shameless viewer pandering. Okay. So, and that was a dark film. And this next film is a little dark too. It could have been a lot darker, actually. So, and this is also a film that even before I did the viewer poll list, a lot of you have been recommending that I watch. And the film is 2011's Rockstar, directed by Imtiaz Ali, and it stars Ranbir Kapoor, who I've seen in a bunch of stuff, but Animal, Sanju, and one of my favorite Indian films, Barfi. And I have to tell you that I am becoming a much bigger fan of Ranbir Kapoor because of his versatility as an actor. You know who my number one is. You know it's still Amir Khan, even though I haven't seen any new stuff of his. Um, but he is really, really good. Also in this film is Nargis Fakhri, who I've seen in Madras Cafe and an American film with Melissa McCarthy, Spy. And this was her debut in this film. And I have to also tell you, she is beautiful. I think I'm growing, I think I'm adding her to my Kareena Kapoor, Katrina Kaif list. She's that beautiful. I also read that people were upset that she might have puffed up her lips. I don't know. People got a lot of time in their hands. It also in it is Shami Kapoor, Kumud Mishra, who I've seen in Sultan and Tiger 3, and Aditi Rao Haidari, who I've seen in Padmavat. So this was interesting. First of all, the film was shot in reverse to match the lead character's hairstyle. So he starts off with long hair, starts off with short hair, ends up with long hair. They shot it in reverse, so he didn't have to grow it. He could just cut it. The director originally wanted to cast Kareena Kapoor with Ranbir Kapoor, and then he found out they were cousins and thought that some of the love scenes could get a little yucky. And I have to agree with him. I also found out that Hrithik Roshan was offered the lead originally, and he turned it down. He had no interest because in the original script, JJ dies, and he didn't want that. I also, and I don't usually do this, but I think in this film it warrants it because of how much music was in it. But the vocals for Ranbir Kapoor, or his character JJ, was done by Mohit Chauhan. He did all the vocals on this, and he deserves credit because he was great. And this was also Shami Kapoor's last film. He died in August 2011. Okay, so let's get to the story. The story is about a young man who wants to be an artiste, a musical artiste. And it's really, well, not the conclusion, but it's really Jimmy Morrison from The Doors story. And that's why he goes, changes his name to Jordan, and then JJ, and obviously Jim Morrison was JM. But it's a story of a young guy who wants to, I said, become an artiste. And the only way he can do that, or he is told this, the only way he can become a true artist is to go through pain and sorrow. And it's the only way that he can achieve that. So he attempts to do it by forcing certain situations, but ultimately he actually goes through the pain and becomes the artist that he wanted to be. But a lot of things happen in the meantime. I mean, that really is the story. So what do I think of the story? Well, this has been done in a lot of different films, and whenever you see a movie like this, The Rose, A Star Is Born, the Doors, the movie The Doors. So this is not new, and this has been going on since the 30s and 40s. So I give the story a 3. I give it a 3 because it's nothing new. Now, let's talk about some things in it. It actually starts off with a real eerie narration. Now, the subtitles were there, but it was strange. It was almost like the movie was a horror film and not a musical, and it really was a musical. And then the first scene, you see him getting beat up out in the street. Well, there's a concert, right? And it's his concert, but you don't see him till he's in some alley, and people, I don't know if it's cops. I couldn't really tell that. Why I found that a little confusing. They're beating him up, and you don't know why they're beating him up. And he gets away and he heads to the concert. They get him in his outfit. He's on stage. He's got blood on his face. He's got his back to the audience, and there's a giant audience, right? Big crowd. He turns around, heads towards the microphone, and as he's about to sing, now they flash back to the beginning. And now you see him as a young man. And now they're showing you the credits. And during the credits, you see the progression of his career, which I thought was kind of interesting to show you that right away. This was a very non-linear storytelling film, like Tarantino does. It was jumping back and forth, so you never knew exact. You could kind of tell by the hairstyle, but it jumps all over the place. Not, and I'm not saying that as a criticism. It was just that's what they did. So he he's told by this a mentor, not his father, by a mentor who tells him about if he wants to become a true artist, he's got to feel pain. So he gloms onto this beautiful girl played by Nargis. Her name is Here, Heer, and he sees her for the first time during this dance number. The dance number is called "Shut Up and Dance." It's also the first song in the film. It's got a red color theme, and she's the lead dancer in it, right? And she's beautiful, and everyone thinks she's kind of standoffish, and she's also getting married. But he makes the decision that he is going to pursue her, so she will hurt him, so he'll feel pain to be an artist. And she's the one that comes. His real name is Jarandan. She changes it to Jordan, and then they end up changing it to JJ. So he pursues her at one point, and she tells him, yelling at him, "Bugger off, bugger off." So he goes back to his mentor and says, I don't know, I tried, and she told me to burger off. I thought that was funny. So he keeps pursuing her just so they can break up. And she wants nothing to do with him. Well, at one point, she says, "Okay, fine, let's talk." Because she's been avoiding him the whole time. And now he's freaked out that she wants to talk. So he finally gets to talk to her. And now he realizes that she's got a side to her that people don't know. And they do this whole scene, and this is the second song in the film. They're going to do stuff off a bad list, and they go to a seedy part of town where she shouldn't be, and she dresses up like a guy, and she's walking like a guy. She's like doing this funny strut. I thought that was very funny. The film they actually used was it was a B movie called Jungle Love, but they're in there, and now they do all this bad stuff, and it's their little secret thing, and she's having a ball. Well, now she's going to get married, so she wants. I think they got married in Kashmir, and she wants him to go to the wedding, and he actually helps her out. Um, and again, he's thinking about breaking up so that he can feel pain, not to be in love, because they don't really. You can't. He doesn't really give it away that he's in love. He's just helping her out, and they're friends, and they're having a really good time together. So they go to the wedding and they do this one scene. It looks like a music video, this old style music video. They're on the water and they're in boats, and it's this old Hindi song. I don't know what the song is, but it was definitely wasn't a current song. So then she's moving to Prague, and he's going to go visit her in Prague, and that's when the parents kick him out of the house. So now he's out of the house. He's got no place to go. So he ends up, and this is the pain process that he's going through. He ends up staying at Norbalinka Monastery in McLeod-Ganj, which was the location was absolutely beautiful. And now they had some issues filming there because people were holding up free Tibet signs, and I guess the government didn't like that, so they had to blur them out in it. But it was the the location was beautiful, and they did this really neat song. It starts off as this religious song. It was "Glory to Mother Goddess," but it turns into because now he gets involved with his guitar and lead singing, and it's just this beautiful number. And you see him growing as a musician too in that scene. So I want to ask this question, and maybe you guys will know this or not, but there was a scene in Prague where Here and JJ are eating at this restaurant that's like on a roof, and it almost looks like not a balcony, but they're up on a roof, and in the background there's a clock tower, and it looked just like a location that was in Barfi. And I want to know if that's the same location. Were they both filmed in Prague? Part of it filmed in Prague? Because that really stuck out for me. And he wants to pursue her. And now you see that he's really falling in love with her. And he ends up signing this contract with a record producer that I'll sign anything you want, just get me to Europe so he can be with her. And she's in Prague married and she's not happy. Well, he ends up showing up and they go back to their old tricks of doing cheap thrills. And now all of a sudden she's happy as can be. They go to a strip joint, male and female. He joins this little troupe that's singing in Prague and telling stories about a king and queen. She ends up dancing with the group, and you could see how happy she is. Now they do this scene. It was this beautiful location, very green. They stop in the middle and they decide they're going to kiss, or he wants to kiss her because obviously he's in love with her now, and she's in love with him, but she's married. It's kind of weird because the husband was you never really see the husband, and basically she spends all her time with JJ, even though she's married. Well, he wants to kiss her, and and they did this little cute thing where she goes, "Will you hug me?" And he goes to hug her, and she goes, "Are you in a hurry? Hug me." It was kind of cute. Well, now he kisses her. And one kiss and then another kiss. And first she pushes him away. What are you doing? What are you doing? You can't do this. And then she kisses him very passionately. And they land on she pushes him down. Now she's upset because she realizes she really does love him, but she can't do this. So puts him in some pain. Well, the climax of that is he shows up at her house and tries to get her to go with him. And she comes out screaming and screaming, "Get away, you got to get away," even though she really does love him. And she ends up passing out. And well, then you find out she's got to go in the hospital. She's got aplasia and she's dying. And so, so, so then towards the end of the film, and this was one complaint they had. I really didn't understand the whole she's dying and she's not talking to anybody and she's white as a ghost. And then he shows up, and because of their history, she starts to feel better and healthier, looks better. And then she goes back in and is not better. But for that time, she went on a trip with him in the plane. I didn't understand that. So how serious was the sickness? And they don't even tell you if she died or not. You don't know that. It's very open-ended the way they did that. Um, so I liked the story. Um, even though I think I gave it a three, right? I thought the performances were the performances, his performance was a five. Everyone else was probably a three. So I'm going to give the performances a four. Now, I love the chemistry between the two. Like their love story was believable. The way they grew to care about each other. They were cute together, and you could see the passion they had for each other. Now he was better than her, but he was, he had to play so many different things in this film. Even though his look changed so dramatically in this film, he's such a versatile actor that I'm really starting to appreciate a lot more. I don't know much about him, like SRK or Bakchan or Amir Khan, obviously. Um, but he's really wonderful and he's great in this. And I guess he really took the playing of the guitar very seriously. He did a lot of prep to be ready for this. And he does, he looks like he's singing the songs, even though he's not. And the songs are great. Well, I'm not going to get to the music yet. So I want to give the performances a four, even though he really deserves a five, because he was excellent in this film. The performances were good, and she's the whole dying thing when she was white as it goes. Yeah, I didn't buy that, but everything else, the growing love for him, and then trying to fight him back, even though she loved him. Like there was a scene at a theater where she screams at him, "Get away!" and then she goes behind a pillar and starts crying because she's in love with the guy. And the scene at the end where he's doing this concert that starts the movie, and they end it with it. All of a sudden, the image of her comes forward. So he's imagining her. Now, again, you don't know if she's alive or dead. So I assume she's dead because he's having a vision. The music, I thought the music was fantastic. I mean, there was some Hindi stuff, like typical Hindi stuff, old stuff. But the rock music that he played was great. The when he was at the monastery, that music had a whole different sound to it. Even in the beginning, when he's just playing the guitar out in front of people, that had a different feel to it. So I thought the music was. I give the music a five. It was fantastic. Um, and then overall, you know, the only thing was some of the performances were okay, but I'm going to give the movie a five because this kept me through the whole movie, and it's not a short movie. I was hoping, it's funny as I'm watching the movie, I was hoping that she was going to dump the husband and be with JJ. Um, but I also know that the whole point of the movie was the only way he became the superstar that he did was because of all the pain he went through. So it wouldn't have worked. If everything worked out for him, he wouldn't have been the rock star. And frankly, towards the end of the film, he realizes he doesn't want to be a rock star. In fact, there's a scene in the hospital where he's visiting her when you think maybe she's dead, but you're not sure. But he walks out of the hospital and all the reporters are outside to take pictures of, him and whoever this girl is. And he goes absolutely crazy. And he's giving him the finger and he's fighting with the cops and so he got everything he wanted, but at what price did he get it? And again, that scene at the end where he's doing this giant concert and he sees the image of her and all the other stuff didn't matter except for her. So that's why I'm going to give the movie a five. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't watch this sooner, but I'm also kind of glad because I'm starting, like I said, I'm really appreciating Ranbir Kapoor as an actor. He is really good. And you look at the three movies I mentioned, Sanju, Animal, and Barfi. You couldn't get any more different in those three movies in this. So excellent, excellent, excellent. I have no idea what I'm going to watch next. Although I told you this is June 1st, in 2 days I'm going to watch cricket. I haven't decided how I'm going to do this. I might even try to do something live. I don't even know if that's possible. But by the time you see this, that would have passed. So telling you it's going to be live doesn't work. So forget what I just said, okay? So I don't know what the movies I'm going to watch. I've got a ton of them, and you guys are also throwing out some other movies in the comment section, which I appreciate. And there's a few, so every now and then something comes up in my queue too that interests me that I'm going to watch. And I'm trying to get some current films too. Um, um, because that seems to get a little buzz going out there. Okay. So that's it. That's my review of Rockstar. Let me know what you think about it, what you think about that film in the comment section. And and I guess that's it. So we'll talk to you soon with another 10ish minute review, and hopefully maybe it'll be USA, India in the Cricket World Cup. Wouldn't that be exciting? Okay, everyone, we'll talk to you soon with another 10ish minute review.